Calisthenics can build real size, not functional size, not lean size, not kind of toned. Actual muscle, the same way you'd build it with weights. Your body doesn't care what tool you use. Muscle doesn't speak the language of equipment. It speaks the language of mechanical tension, effort and progressive overload. If the tension is high enough and increases over time, your body will grow. Period. I work with bodybuilders, athletes, beginners and calisthenics specialists, and the rules never change. The physiology never changes. Muscle fibers respond to high mechanical tension, repeated close to technical failure and then recovered from. That's the game across every discipline. The confusion usually starts with skills. People see levers, planches, handstands and assume that's how you get big. It's not. Skills are impressive, but they are neurological, inconsistent and built around balance, not hypertrophy. A weighted ring dip loads your chest the same way a weighted bench press does. Stable leverage, high tension, repeatable progression. If your goal is size, you don't chase tricks, you chase mechanical tension through structured, repeatable training. This video isn't about flashy combos, challenge workouts or whatever's trending online. It's about the principles that built every great physique you've ever admired, applied to calisthenics. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, only fundamentals. Progressive overload is the one rule you never escape. Muscle grows when mechanical tension increases, not when a movement looks impressive, not when reps climb into the hundreds, and not when a workout feels long. Your muscles respond to force, motor unit recruitment and progression over time. Bodyweight or weights, the physiology is identical. Most people in calisthenics think progression means just do more reps. It works at first, but it dies quickly. Once an exercise becomes too easy, each extra rep produces less tension and recruits fewer high-threshold fibers. Going from 30 to 50 push-ups feels harder, but the stimulus barely changes. And once you're chasing hundreds of reps in countless sets, you've entered endurance training. Metabolically fatiguing, joint irritating and nearly impossible to track. Yes, a set of a 10 and a set of 100 can theoretically build similar muscle if both are taken to true failure, but the high rep option is brutally inefficient. Cardiovascular fatigue shuts you down long before your muscle fibers hit meaningful tension. That's not progression, that's avoidance. Real overload follows the same logic as weights. From standard push-ups, elevate your feet, move to ring push-ups, add some weight. Transition to ring dips and again add weights. Same for your pulls. Once pull-ups get easy, move to ring pull-ups, then to archer variations or simply add weights. The movement gets harder, force demands rise, and the muscle has a reason to grow. Calisthenics also gives you non-load ways to rise tension. Slow eccentrics, long pauses, strict negatives, leverage changes, tighter form, rest pause, and gradual weekly volume increases. These raise mechanical tension by increasing force production, time under control, and motor unit recruitment. Not with flash, but with physiology your body actually adapts to. The key is proximity to failure with technique honest enough to keep tension in the muscle instead of the joints. Stabilizers matter too. If they can't hold alignment, tension leaks and prime movers stop working. Fix the details and your ability to overload skyrockets. And eventually, if size is your goal, weighted calisthenics becomes mandatory. No one builds a big chest benching 50 pounds forever, and no one builds a big upper body on unweighted push-ups forever. Load must rise. Gravity gives you the foundation, external weight gives you the ceiling. Use both. Respect progressive overload. Nothing grows without it. Most people fail to build muscle with calisthenics because they're too busy collecting exercises instead of mastering the ones that actually create tension. They bounce from variation to variation, chasing novelty and hoping the right angle replaces the fundamentals. Exercises don't build muscle, execution does. Your nervous system doesn't care about variety, it cares about force production and how close you train to failure. If you're a normal person with a job and limited training time, you don't need perfect science. You need repeatability. A handful of staple push, pull, leg and core patterns you refine every week and overload for months, not days. Master the basics before attempting advanced variations. A clean push-up with full body tension recruits more high threshold fibers than a sloppy pseudo-planche attempt. Range of motion isn't about going as deep as possible. It's about staying in the range where the target muscle remains in tension. If your shoulders dump forward at the bottom of a dip, you didn't increase range of motion, you shifted the tension away from the chest. High volume means nothing if tension leaks on every rep. You don't need 40-set marathons, you need better sets. Sets where the muscle stays engaged, the rep speed slows naturally, and you finish close to failure without technique collapsing. High quality reps compound faster than high quantity reps. Once your technique is locked in, you grow fastest by increasing intensity, adding load, slowing eccentrics, inserting pauses or tightening leverage, not by piling on random sets or variations. People obsess over angles and exotic progressions, but can't make a basic push-up feel heavy. If you can't create tension in the simplest movements, no advanced progression will save you. Mastery first, complexity later. Training a muscle once per week and expecting growth is outdated. Call it bro split tradition if you want, but for hypertrophy it's one of the least efficient setups you can run. If you cram 20 chest sets into a single session, only the first handful deliver meaningful tension. After set 6 or 8, force output crashes and the rest become junk volume, reps that look hard but stimulate almost nothing. Now, take those same 20 sets and spread them across 2 or 3 sessions. Suddenly, every session starts with fresher muscles, higher force output, cleaner reps and a sharper mind-muscle connection. You get more high-quality sets close to failure, the real driver of hypertrophy. Same weekly volume, completely different stimulus. This matters even more in calisthenics. Stabilizers work overtime to keep your body aligned. That increases the fatigue cost of every set, meaning you hit low quality reps sooner than you would on machines or barbells. Spreading sessions keeps stabilizers fresh, technique crisp, and prime movers able to work at full capacity. Physiologically, muscle protein synthesis stays elevated for about 24 to 48 hours after training for naturals. Hit a muscle once a week and you waste most of that growth window. Hit it multiple times and you renew that signal repeatedly. Frequency is the cheat code for naturals. You can only produce so much high quality tension in one workout before performance drops. The solution isn't grinding yourself into the floor once a week. It's giving the muscle multiple, clean exposures to tension across the week. That's how you grow consistently, recover efficiently, and avoid burnout. Complexity doesn't build muscle, effort does. You can spend hours obsessing over elbow angles on pseudo-plunge push-ups, or searching for some secret handstand progression. But if you can't perform 20 clean push-ups with proper form, none of that complexity matters. Hypertrophy is driven by mechanical tension applied with control near failure over and over again. And the basics are where you learn to produce that tension. Advanced variations only amplify what the basics already built. The foundation is simple: push-ups, dips, pull-ups, rows, pike push-ups. Mastered, not performed. Every inch controlled, every rep intentional. Once that's solid, you've earned the right to use intensity techniques that actually matter. Pauses force your nervous system to stabilize under load. Slow eccentrics increase cross-bridge formation, not just fatigue. Mechanical drop sets, moving from weighted push-ups to ring push-ups to floor push-ups, extend the set without losing tension. Pre-exhaust drills like banded push-ups before dips ensure the chest fires first instead of compensating muscles taking over. But none of this works if fundamentals are shaky. If your stabilizers can't hold alignment, if your technique collapses under fatigue, or if tension bounces between joints and momentum. Adding complexity only multiplies the chaos. More fatigue, more risk, no extra growth. Strong lifters love basics because basics let you push near failure under full control. Every rep becomes a clear command to the muscle: contract harder, stabilize better, handle more load. Beginners chase gimmicks hoping to skip the boring part. Real size comes from mastering the basics so meticulously that every rep is productive. Complexity is earned. Fundamentals build the body. You can train hard, grind through sets, and push yourself to the edge, but none of it turns into muscle if you ignore recovery. Training gives your body a reason to grow. The actual growth happens after, when fibers rebuild, stabilizers recoordinate, and your nervous system resets. Training is the signal, recovery is the adaptation. Calisthenics makes this even more important. High-intensity bodyweight work doesn't just hit the prime movers. It hammers your stabilizers and your central nervous system every session. Nervous system fatigue shows up early. Reps start feeling uncoordinated, joints feel unstable, and even your warm-up sets feel heavier than they should. If you try training 7 days a week, everything slides. Tension drops, technique degrades, stabilizers stop doing their job, and the muscle signal becomes too weak to matter. Naturals can't out-volume poor recovery. You need to train hard and recover hard, so you can show up with real quality again tomorrow. The solution isn't do less, it's structure better. Beginners grow best on 3 full body sessions with rest between them. Intermediates thrive on 4 to 5 days with smart rotation. Advanced athletes can train 5 days, but only if recovery is programmed intentionally, not ignored in the name of hustle. Too little rest and your nervous system drains, your joints destabilize, and your sets drift further from the intensity needed for hypertrophy. Too much rest and you lose rhythm, tension awareness, and the neural precision that makes every rep efficient. Recovery isn't separate from training, it's part of the cycle. Stimulus, repair, adaptation, repeat. Muscle is built in the quiet, not in the chaos. If your goal is muscle size, stop confusing endurance with hypertrophy. Yes, endurance athletes like rowers and swimmers can look massive, but their size is a byproduct of extreme volume accumulated daily for years, not the result of hypertrophy-optimized training. They build mitochondrial and capillary adaptations with some growth, not the thick myofibrillar density that creates real size. For most people, chasing that approach is inefficient, fatiguing, and unsustainable. Doing 3, 4, or 500 push-ups may look impressive, but it won't deliver the controlled tension your fibers need to grow. Fatigue isn't stimulus. Once form fades and reps become aerobic work, the growth signal disappears. You're training endurance, not hypertrophy, while stressing joints and burning out mentally. Think like a bodybuilder. No one benches an empty bar for 200 reps expecting a thick, dense chest. Calisthenics follows the same biology. To grow efficiently, you need mechanical tension delivered in rep ranges that activate high threshold fibers. Weighted calisthenics keeps you in the ranges where muscle actually grows. Deliberate reps, controlled tempo, and tension from start to finish. The targets are simple: 6 to 15 reps for size, 3 to 8 for strength, and 12 to 30 for pump or metabolic work, all performed to technical failure. And if counting reps feels restrictive, think in time instead. 40 to 60 seconds of uninterrupted tension is the sweet spot for hypertrophy. Drop below that and you're skewing towards strength. Go above it and you drift into endurance. Like I mentioned earlier, any rep range can build muscle if you take it close enough to failure, but volume without intensity is meaningless. One properly loaded set taken to technical failure with clean, controlled form will recruit more fibers and stimulate more growth than 10 high rep sets done in a fog of fatigue. Endurance work can make muscles look full, but it doesn't maximize fiber recruitment or long-term size potential. So, stop glorifying endless reps. Train with load, control every inch, and let tension, not exhaustion, be the engine of your progress. That's the reality of building real muscle with calisthenics. After coaching dozens of clients, bodybuilders, athletes, and everyday lifters, the pattern is always the same. The methods aren't flashy, they're not fancy, and yes, they can feel boring, but they work. It's all tension, progressive overload, consistent execution, and smart recovery. Hypertrophy isn't mysterious, it's mechanical tension applied consistently. Keep it simple, stay disciplined, and let the results do the talking. I'll see you in the next session.